Thank you for attending this information meeting or for watching this video. We hope that this time will help you get a better sense of the what and the why of a Revive campaign and how it will help us fulfill our mission to make disciples of Jesus Christ by sharing faith and serving others. I hope you've carefully read the materials that we've sent describing our plans to renovate our facility. If not, please do so. These renovation plans have been developed after several years of study and thoughtful and prayerful consideration by members and leaders of our church. We believe God is calling us to take action. And if we respond with faith, obedience, and generosity, we trust that God is able to bring revival, new life, to each of us and to our church.
We came to church here, I can't remember the exact date, fall of 1989, and we never went anywhere else.
We came for a service and fell in love.
We looked around at several churches in this area. We're living in Park Hills. We're still in the same place we were 16 years ago. And we wanted a place where we thought would be a good family connection.
I hadn't been to church in 38 years, other than Christmas with the in-laws and Easter with my folks.
We wanted to have God as the center of our family, and so as a huge blessing to me, Jeff said, okay, well, let's start church shopping. And this was probably one of the only churches we came to.
And I heard the word in a way that I had never heard it before, and I was astounded.
A few months later, we joined the church. We just fell in love with Emmanuel, and it's truly our family now.
To me, here at Emmanuel, everyone is a family to me because I just feel so connected to them and wanted and just appreciated.
The church is first of all a people called by God to represent Christ in the world. It's a community of faith where we can lead people to Christ, help them grow up as disciples, where we can share grace and enjoy a loving fellowship, and where we get equipped to mobilize for mission and ministry in the world.
Church has always been a part of my life, and I've been in a couple of great churches. I think this will be really just the third church that I've ever belonged to. And it means I have a church family again, which is really, it means that I have a support structure. I have people that are investing in my life, and I have opportunities to invest in others' lives.
There's something special about Emmanuel. From day one, it was pretty evident to me that this is a loving church, that Jesus is alive and well in this church.
I'm more sure about who I am now than I ever have been in my life. And it's because I know I have a God that loves me, and I have a church family that I can count on. No matter what happens, I can have the worst day in the world, and I can come here on Wednesday night in tears. And by the time I'm leaving here, I'm laughing, and I know I'm loved.
There is something here that simply will not let me go. And it's the friends here, the people who have been there and held my hand when I had trouble. I said I wasn't going to do this, but you know, I'm an old guy, I can't help it. We have had things happen where people have been with us when they didn't have to be, and they were always from here. Now, I've got friends from work who've been there for me too, and God bless them. But the friends at Emmanuel that have been there with us in times of trouble, I will never forget. I'll never forget them. God help me, I hope I'll be there for them.
The church is more than a building, but our main church facility is our core base and a ministry center that brings us together and which enables us to fulfill our mission. Our facility is a great tool for ministry and disciple making through which God reaches out to people every day of the week.
It's always busy. And I really love that because it says to me, hey, we're here, we want to be used.
When you have something you've purchased, you've been given, you take good care of it. And I think for us as being good stewards of our building, I think this is a step that we need to take. It's definitely had some wear and tear, and I think we need to take care of it.
To grow our church, we need to be attractive to people who are going to come in, and if people want to bring their kids and drop them off, they need to feel safe. They need to feel that the kids are in a safe environment, and it's nice to see something pretty on the walls.
The building is functioning, but really if you look at it, it doesn't look good. And it's not going to fall apart tomorrow, but it's not appealing when you first walk in. And there's a lot of people who come in this church who don't go to church here. They may go to church somewhere else, or they may have no church home at all. But they come here for School of Music, they come here for Upward, they come here for some something they've been invited to, and we should have a good impression for them.
Like your home, for example, after a period of use, sometimes you have to step back and say, we need to refresh or kind of sharpen our tools, so to speak. And I see Revive as a great opportunity to do that. It is not just about putting new paint on the wall or new carpeting, but we're really looking at how do we set the stage now for what is to come? What is God going to want to do with us in the future, and are we ready?
Before they meet the people, they're going to look at the building. They're going to look at the sanctuary. They're going to see the Wesley Hall, and they're going to see that these people care and that they're investing.
God has entrusted to us the care and maintenance of this ministry tool. We don't want our facilities to be fancy, shiny, and impressive, but we do need them to be sharp, effective, in good working order, and updated to meet the needs of our time, and even more so we can continue serving others for many years to come.
This church, it brought me, it opened my eyes, and the first impression and the fact that it was here and was all due to somebody else a long time ago, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, how many years ago, making an investment. So to me, I want this church to be here and to thrive and be alive in a way that someone else will learn about God the way I did.
If you really evaluate what this place means to you and how it can help other people, whether it's your family, your friends, people that you live next door to, it's worth whatever you can muster.
Right before we joined, Wesley Hall was built, which I didn't realize at the time that had just happened, but it's been a huge part of our family's life because my kids played Upward, my kids have refereed Upward, we go to Wesley night dinners, we worship in there. And so it's a huge thing that somebody else did for me. So now I kind of look at, I need to pay it forward again.
I look around the old place here and I think, well, it won't be cheap to take care of it, but you know what, whatever it costs, it's worth it, because I have seen people's lives changed here for the better. I've seen lives begin and I've seen them end here. I mean, funerals, that sort of thing. But all in all, what I've got to say is through all of that, I have felt a presence here, a hand on my shoulder at times when I really needed it, that's unlike anything I've felt anywhere else.
What we're doing today and what we're going to do for Emmanuel in these next few months, what does that mean for who comes behind us? And I'm excited that, as a newer member, that I can have impact on that now. And I know, us coming together as a congregation, what we choose to do will have great impact for God and His kingdom moving forward.
We received this resource and we enjoy it now because people before us were faithful stewards and they invested and sacrificed to develop this place, including several expansions and various types of improvements over the years. We have used our facilities well, to the point that we've worn them out in many ways. Our church is still a great tool for ministry, but in too many cases the wear and tear has taken a toll, such that our main facility sometimes holds us back. Also, new needs and opportunities require changes that can help us reach even more people for Christ. The key point is this: the Revive campaign is not about our facility. It's about ministry and disciple making. It's about serving God by being good stewards of the resources entrusted to us. The changes and improvements we hope to make are just the means toward the goal of more effective and long-lasting ministry. If our people are generous enough and we're able to do all that we hope to do, these renovations will touch virtually every space in our facility. Every person, group, and ministry activity that uses it will benefit in some way in the short run, but more importantly, will help ensure that we can continue to fulfill our mission into the future, to the glory of God.
There is no question that in this place we have felt God's presence. No question about it.
God is the center of our lives now, and Emmanuel is huge in that regard.
Consider all this and then go to the Lord in prayer. Ask God what He wants you to do to help your church be faithful and even more effective in ministry. If you'll respond in obedience to whatever God calls you to do, to whatever God calls you to give, then that will lead to some measure of personal revival in your life, which has the potential to spread into our church and from there into our community and world, and God's blessings will multiply. May God bless you and the ministry of our church home, Emmanuel.